that's not how you get a desk. Some of them thought, well, it's maybe our behavior. She said, well, you better behave in here, but that's not going to get you a desk either. And so all period, they couldn't figure it out, so they sat on the floor and sit against the wall. Second period came, same thing. Third period, by lunch, all 4 network television affiliates had news crews out at the school because kids had gotten on their cell phones, called their parents, and their parents had gotten to calling each other about this teacher, Jo T. Robinson, who had lost her mind and had taken all the desks out of the classroom. By the end of the day, it was the buzz of the campus. The news crew's still there. Last period of the day, Martha Cothran, after her kids come in and sit on the floor, she said, it doesn't look like any of you are going to figure this out, so let me explain it to you. She walked over to the door of her classroom, she opened the door, in walked 27 veterans. Every one of them came in carrying a school desk. And they walked in and they put those school desks in rows. And as they did, Martha said, all right, kids, let me explain something to you. You don't have to earn your desk after all, because these guys already did. And she said, every day when you come in here to class, you sit in this desk, I want you to know that may it not have cost you anything. It didn't mean it was free. Somebody paid. These guys did. And some of their friends didn't come home because they paid a high price we can't even begin to imagine. And she says, just realize that every great thing you enjoy in this country is because of guys like that. I wish every kid in America had a teacher like Martha Cothran. I wish every kid in America grew up understanding what a great gift it was. And one thing I want to do as president, those guys that brought those desks in, I want to make sure they never have to wait in line for the benefits that this country promised they would have. We're working on a proposal for a Veterans Bill of Rights that I would like to institute as president that says that we will make sure that veterans get what was promised to them. They've kept their promise to us. We need to keep our promise to them and shouldn't ask them to wait in line and take a number like somebody at the bakery waiting on a sack of donuts. And when we do that, I believe God will honor this country again if it honors its promises and keeps its commitments for the people who kept its commitments to us. Over the next few months, I'm going to ask you to help me win the Iowa caucus. Not do well. Doing well is great, but winning is even better. We did well at straw poll. We want to win the caucus. Iowa, I believe, is looking for a pro-family, pro-life, conservative candidate who can get the job done, who proves to his past he can get elected. I'd like you to join our team and help us to be there on caucus night. And I think it'll be one of the most exciting turning points in American presidential politics. Why let the media in the East Coast pick the president based on the size of a checkbook when it doesn't even represent what you believe and you're not that excited about it? That's why I'm asking you to be a part of our team. And before you leave, I hope you'll give us your name and address, email address, and phone number. We'll only call you 6 times a day. It's not going to We've already been done that. We'd just like you to help us and get friends and relatives and neighbors and associates out to the caucus night between now and January or December or whenever the caucus is going to be. Thanksgiving. I've decided it may be Halloween, and what we end up doing is instead of having a caucus, all the candidates are dressed in costumes and they go door to door collecting candy, and whoever has the most gets to be the caucus leader. Getting pushed back. But however and whenever it happens, we want to win it. And with your help, we will and we can. Bob, say a word and close us.
Let's thank Governor Mike Huckabee. You know, every time I hear him speak, I still say I'm going to support him. You know, it's easy to say you're going to support something like that because you see it's a true message. It comes from the heart. Let me give you a little bit by the numbers. In 2002, I ran for governor in a primary. That primary yielded 202,000 votes in a Republican primary. We're estimating that this caucus in January or December, whenever it's going to be, will be about 100,000 votes. Maybe sub 100,000 votes for a president. So if you ever thought my vote doesn't count, in this caucus, it counts. It counts. Most inside political pundits are saying right now that this guy's got a 50-50 shot of winning the Iowa caucus. Because they see it happen. To a lot of the outsiders, a lot of the media experts, second place at the straw poll was a huge surprise. And that's why 75 of them gaggled around him after he took second place. And the world shifted for him because of a second place finish at an Iowa straw poll. But we knew it was coming. Because he's got a little bit like what Ronald Reagan had for him. His people will actually crawl across broken glass to go vote for him. Because they believe in it. So what we're asking you to do this Iowa caucus, one, sign up on the team. Get to your caucus, convince your friends and neighbors, expand the universe, and let Iowa set the apple cart right and say this will be our nominee. Because if he wins Iowa, I've seen what he's got in New Hampshire, I've seen what he's got in South Carolina. And if he wins those, I think February 5 becomes his and he becomes our nominee. So if you've been waiting all along to say, I just wish one of us would run. Well, not somebody that we agree with 80% of the time or even 90%, but somebody that's just we believe in. Well, here's your opportunity. I flew into Little Rock, Arkansas not too long ago. Again, for Governor Huckabee to speak on his behalf. And the lady who picked me up from the airplane to drive me to the terminal, she was a young girl, and I was talking to her, and I said, hey, tell me about that former governor you guys had here, Governor Mike Huckabee. She goes, well, let me tell you the best I can tell you about Governor Mike Huckabee. She says, my grandma is a staunch Democrat. And she went on to explain her grandma and her Democrat tendency. I thought, yeah, she's a Democrat. So when he left office, her grandmother cried. Because she believed in Governor Mike Huckabee. And so I think this caucus season, we have a chance. 2004, quick history lesson. Just a matter of weeks before the Iowa caucus, 2004, I had people saying to me, why does John Kerry and John Edwards even stay in the race? Because it's Howard Dean's. Howard Dean's going to win. Remember that? Howard Dean's going to win the Iowa caucus. And it was a done deal. And that was before he screamed. Okay? And he took third. And after he took third, he screamed. But then Kerry and Edwards got the nomination because Iowa. So the world's looking at us, and I just think you do very well to support Governor Mike Huckabee to be our very next president. So join us and help us get it done. Thanks so much for coming out.